business now. Tell me about your business. Around web sponsor the business that will get up on. Don't inspiration on getting business thing. Starting alone or cool.
You know why I asked for the interview to be here at and ask Bay TV, and must thank Bay TV and Bomakapa family for giving us their studios, because, by the way, these studios are not supposed to be used. They are lockdown studios. And I thank the team here, all of the managers here, for giving us the time to use their space. It's very, very important, because when I was working in the retail business, I was doing very, very well. I was getting, people who work in retail, they will tell you, you get the sales performance awards, you'll get the incentive trip, you get this, you get that. It got a little bit stale, because I've always had an energy to do things. So I get a call from Mark Hedbush. So Mark Hedbush, together with Putti Ombeshu, had started a community radio station called Ubuntu FM. That was at Pier 14. Mark felt that I was good to drive the sales and the business strategy of this community radio station. And so he persuaded me to come and join at this business. So I talked to, I think I talked to Mintlos at that stage. I can't recall whether I was already going out with at that time. But I took the offer. I think I needed the break. But remember, also the other dynamic was that the Fortune Group was still a little bit dealing with transformation issues, because from a store manager, everybody decided to become an area manager. I became an area manager eventually, but I had to leave and come back. So I thought maybe I must do the strategy of exiting so that the company feels my absence and then sees my value and then come back and name my price. Right? So I exited, I took the offer. So I myself and Jimmy, the son of Mark Hedbush. So Jimmy was a station manager, I was responsible for sales. And then we worked with the likes of Nada Wochela, Lux, Sliso, and many, many other guys that are now at SABC and they're doing well for themselves. So we built this thing. So in the process of building this thing, so what happens when you work in a radio environment and you're responsible for sales? You get recording labels, brand companies coming to ask for activations, because they're coming to buy airtime, then they need an activation. So they didn't have someone to help them with activation. I mean, I talk big brands like Old Mutual and stuff like that. So because I deal with them being plugged on airtime, relationships, trade exchange and deals, they said, but Motse, can you do this thing for us, man? You well spoken, MC, at this thing, which what the DJs do now with promotions in malls and places. So I started doing this thing. I kind of liked it. In the midst of it, Foshini comes back and gives me a better offer. And says to me, hey, chief man, we have a store, man. Can you look into this thing? No, in fact, it was Jumbo first. That's all I know, Jumbo. The agent phoned me to say, man, Jumbo is looking for someone like me. Am I interested? It was PAG there. So I went to this interview. These guys employed me. I went to Alice for the first time at Tikeni. Best years of my life. Abantu base Tikeni looked well after us, outsiders, connected with the PE rights that were at Forte. So I got back, but I realized that I was enjoying what I was doing then. Then I started building Imbizo events. Then we called it global events. We think global, eh? You know the issue of young guys. That's why I always like young guys, because I somehow see myself in them. And young people must not be scared to think stupid. right? I call it to think stupid. Ezinto azawuthi umntu kuwe iphambene le ayizokwenzeka le nto. We thought stupid. I remember global events, we want to conquer the world in the events industry. We brought in partners, some who used to be at CKI FM. One is a lawyer, cousin of mine, still in PE. We did this thing. And always remember, when you are a founder of an idea, you bring partners. Ne? They're going to leave you behind eventually. Because the energy and the interest is not the same. You see, the founder energy will always have the mainstay and be the North Star in terms of this thing. So we built this thing, Yapela. Then Foschini started keeping me busy. From there, I was at Foschini. Then I was asked to look for Foschini, after Foschini, King Williamstown, and to look for Foschini, Buffalo's in East London, Main Street, there's it called Buffalo Street? Oxford Street. Oxford Street. So then I got into corporate life and I looked so good like you. And we did some wonderful stuff there to grow a lot of people and let the Foschini brand now to be accessible to our people in the post-94 retail environment. So that's how the business things start. Then later, the global events, friends, business partners had gone to do their stuff. And it was not as global as we thought it would be global financially. Then I got back, but I kind of still liked this thing. Then I went back into events, but we started club events, which did not turn out well. Then I diversified later.